stand. Hit, cheerio! Scientology's got to stand. The abuse has to stop. The abuse has to
There
stop.
is human trafficking occurring at St. Hill at this very moment, and it will continue until government agencies step in to stop it.
We have a problem on our hands, and I'm actually going to quote for the first time ever a chief spokesperson of the Church of Scientology. Here is Tommy Davies.
Well, buddy, you got it. Right here, right now. I'm angry. Real angry.
And angry indeed I am. When someone chooses to speak out against the Church of Scientology, they do so knowing that the Church of Scientology are going to come after you, to try and silence you, to muzzle you, to censor you, and stop you from speaking out, because that's not what they want. They want you to say good things, wonderful things, lovely things about how great the abuse that you suffered in Scientology was. So when you decide to speak out about Scientology, you do so knowing that there is going to be an inherent risk of people trying to silence you and muzzle you. What you don't expect to happen is the local town council to also jump on the bandwagon to try and censor you and muzzle you also. In fact, you might expect your council to support you and to help you in any way that they possibly can to come to terms with what you suffered whilst under the control of an authoritarian human trafficking, money laundering cult that is occurring in the town. A town council is meant to be there to support you. It's meant to be there to help you. It's not there to silence you. When I contacted the mayor of East Grinstead, Fraser Visser, back in November to try and raise concerns about his involvement with the Church of Scientology and attendance of events at St. Hill, I was ignored. I was not responded to, and it took me speaking out at a public council meeting earlier this month to be heard and to get a response, only to be told by the mayor that I should refrain from speaking out about this experience online, that I shouldn't talk about it on social media, and I should refrain from talking about it in the public realm. Even though that is almost textbook fair game and textbook policy for the Church of Scientology. That's what they want to do. They want to silence you, and that's exactly how they would do it. Even though this is textbook Scientology, I gave him the benefit of the doubt and gave him some kind, friendly advice that it's probably not the best idea to try and silence and muzzle someone who speaks out about Scientology, because they already are prepared for that and they know that that's going to happen, and that's what they've had to suffer inside Scientology. Not the best idea. So when 7 people, members of the public, joined East Grinstead Town Council at their meeting earlier this week, the second meeting of the Town Council this month, they raised some very valid questions. I spoke to you all yesterday on a live stream with Daniel Chamberlain about this and how it went down. Now, it's gotten a little bit chaotic in terms of their response. And to be honest, I kind of expected them to do this, but that doesn't mean I'm not surprised. East Grinstead Town Council have now uploaded the council meeting to their YouTube account. However, they have done so without the public questions at the beginning. Now, East Grinstead Town Council don't like the fact that they were put on the spot and asked about their relationship with the Church of Scientology, and they have now censored that, which is a problem, because speaking at a town council meeting is public record. It is a public meeting, and it cannot and should not be redacted or censored in any way, shape, or form. Now, interestingly, they uploaded the meeting for the they uploaded the video of the meeting that I attended earlier this month on the 8th of January to YouTube the day after, and it included the public questions. Yesterday, they took this video down and re-uploaded it without the public questions, and they also uploaded the meeting from earlier this week. The comment on the video says as follows: "Please note that the public questions section of this meeting has been redacted due to the sensitive nature of the conversations and to protect any person in respect of any potential allegations that could result in legal action in the future." Now, it might sound reasonable, but it is completely absurd, because no one who raised a question at the East Grinstead Town Council meeting earlier this week accused anybody of anything. Everybody that spoke and asked a question spoke to their personal experience. They said, I experienced this, and this is my question. Not a single person alleged anything or accused anybody of anything. They said, I experienced this. This is my question. They were shot down, they were silenced, and now they are being censored. And this is outrageous. As it is a question that is on the public record, it is something that cannot be redacted. And for East Grinstead Town Council to now try and claim they are doing so to protect those individuals is absolutely outrageous. And as Tommy Davis said, I'm angry, real angry. Now, I want to play you a clip from the meeting where I think it is just incredibly hypocritical of what East Grinstead. It's an example of how hypocritical East Grinstead Town Council are being. So this is a clip from later on in the meeting where they're talking about the budget.
That this council is closest to the people of East Grinstead, and it must not shy away from being available to help them. And the cost of living crisis has not gone away. There are many other things which I, as a district and county councillor, am seeing in terms of the pressures on our residents, which means that they will need support more in the future, and we should be prepared to be there and provide that. Thank you.
So there is a councillor, East Grinstead Town Council, saying, we are closest to the people of East Grinstead and we are the front line. We are there to support the residents of East Grinstead Town Council. Well, why then, when the residents of East Grinstead raise concerns and ask what they're doing to support victims of abuse and those who are trying to escape and leave Scientology at St. Hill, when you ask what support are you providing them, are we shut down and silenced and our questions removed from the video on the East Grinstead Town Council website? That to me does not sound like East Grinstead Town Council listening to the concerns of residents and helping them in any way that they can. East Grinstead Town Council are the front line of services. The services, according to their website, that they provide are in response to the needs of local people. Well, what about the local people who need help, having been victims of human trafficking, of modern slavery, of abuse that is going on at St. Hill? And why is it appropriate for councillors and mayors to attend events at St. Hill and then to censor the questions that the residents are raising? That's why this is outrageous. I sent an email today to East Grinstead Town Council. It's the second long email I've sent them in the last 2 days. I read one out yesterday. Now, this is my formal complaint that I lodged with the council today. Dear Town Clerk, please consider this a formal complaint. I noticed the recording of the East Grinstead Town Council meeting on the 8th of January 2024 was removed from the East Grinstead Town Council YouTube channel yesterday, and it was later re-uploaded today, but with the public question time edited out. I find the timing of this concerning in light of the council's disapproval of the questions raised at the council meeting on the 29th of January relating to the Church of Scientology. The newly uploaded version of the 8th of January council meeting is accompanied by a disclaimer that says, please note the public questions section of this meeting has been redacted due to the sensitive nature of the conversations and to protect any person in respect of any potential allegations that could result in legal action in the future. Please, could you explain why my question and the mayor's response has been censored? The question, as it was raised during public question time, is now a matter of public record and is captured in the council's minutes, which is published on your website. The meeting on the 29th of January has also been censored on YouTube. The only people who the council is protecting by this decision is the Church of Scientology. It is laughable to think the council is pretending the reason for censorship is to protect those who have spoken out, when the only reason I asked my question at the meeting was because the council and mayor were ignoring my emails, refusing to engage in conversation, and this was the only way of getting my voice heard. The council's actions forced me to speak publicly at the meeting and is now attempting to censor me and claim doing so is protecting me. This is nothing short of insulting. You previously sent me the filming protocol, and in the paragraph you sent, point 3 of the protocol states, those attending the meeting are deemed to have consented to the filming, recording, or broadcast of meetings. And continues, the chairman of the meeting has the authority to stop a meeting and take appropriate action if any person contravenes these principles. At no point during the meeting did the mayor choose to stop the meeting due to these principles being contravened, meaning everybody in the meeting consented to its filming and publication on YouTube. Under point 5, it says the council asked those recording proceedings not to edit the film or recording in any way that could lead to misinterpretation of the proceedings. This includes refraining from editing an image or views expressed in a way that may ridicule, offend, or show lack of respect towards those being filmed or recorded. I did not give my permission for the council to censor my question or my words spoken at a public meeting on the public record. Unfortunately, by editing out the public questions, you have indeed ridiculed my concerns that the council may be unduly influenced by the Church of Scientology and are indeed showing a complete lack of respect towards those being filmed. As an ex-Scientologist, I'm fighting the attempted censorship and silencing of my story on a daily basis. I'm fighting an authoritarian cult that has taken too much of my life away. It is attempting to censor me, stop me from speaking out, and control the narrative. Asking a question at public question time was for the exact reason that it was on the public record and could not be censored. I did not accuse anybody of anything. I just recounted a personal experience and asked the mayor what he was doing to protect people from abuse. How dare you censor me when I spoke on the public record and I'm speaking on a local issue of national importance? This was a public meeting that should not be redacted in any way. I am shocked, outraged, and horrifically offended that you have once again furthered the aims of the Church of Scientology in its goal of silencing critics. This is the second time the council has acted in an attempt to muzzle the public debate on this topic after the mayor asked me not to speak publicly about it via email. The purpose of speaking out on the public record is so that it cannot be censored. You will not silence me, and you will not censor me. How dare you? By editing out my question from the YouTube video, you have once again chosen the side of the abusers rather than the abused. Where is your compassion? Where is your sympathy? And when will you listen to what we are saying? Please consider this a formal complaint and a request to reinstate the originally uploaded version of the council meeting on the 8th of January, which includes the question I asked during public question time at the beginning. Kindest regards, Alexander Barnes-Ross. This is a matter of national concern. East Grinstead Town Council's approval and enabling of Scientology is something that is going to be felt, if it is not already, across the whole country. When East Grinstead Town Council nominated Scientology for a COVID Heroes Award that the local MP, Mims Davies, awarded them for their community support and outreach and how great and wonderful Scientology are, Scientology used that to as a sign of their legitimacy. They plastered it all over their website and use it as an example of how they are legitimized by government. They are trying to say the House of Commons recognizes us as a religion, as a religious group, and recognizes the wonderful work and help that we are doing in our local community. This is an example of how East Grinstead Town Council's actions lead to Scientology's further request for legitimacy, which is something that is a national concern. Scientology operates in almost every city in this country. It has bases there where people work long hours every single day for little to no pay and have no say in where they work, how they work, what work they do, or where they live in the world. People are trafficked around the world to work for Scientology. People do not have a say in any of this. The staff that are engaging with in conversation with East Grinstead Town Council are Sea Org members. They have signed a $1 billion year pledge to work for the Church of Scientology from 8 to 9 in the morning until 10 o'clock at night, 7 days a week with no days off. They do not have the choice to leave the property when they want to go and do some food shopping. You're not going to see them walking around town. You're not going to see them drinking at the local pub or eating out at a local restaurant. Not because they don't have any money, which they don't, but because they're simply not allowed to. The fact that the East Grinstead Town Council are not listening to these very real concerns of local residents is outrageously important to discuss. A lot of people at St. Hill that are in the Sea Org that are working for Scientology are victims of modern slavery and may not even be aware of it. When I protested outside St. Hill in November, a number of local residents came up to me and said, "Thank you for protesting, for you are giving us a voice. I'm not a Scientologist, but I'm scared to speak out, and you are doing it for us. You're representing us local residents." There are people like that who came up to me on a daily basis when I was standing outside the gates at St. Hill. Local residents are scared to talk about Scientology because Scientology are known to intimidate, harass, and follow its critics and people who don't approve of its activities. So local residents are too scared to talk about this. So when people do find the courage to speak about this at the local council meeting, the town council meeting, they need to be listened to. It's not just me. It's not just the 7 people that were there the other day. It is a community issue, the results of which are felt nationally and which has eyes and attention on it internationally. This is hugely important. And I'm just going to say to East Grinstead Town Council, you cannot silence us. You cannot censor us. And what you have done is incredibly mean, rude, and just plain outright wrong. And we will not stand for it. That's a little rant over, sorry. Had to get that off my chest. PTS for life. The council sure have stepped in it this time. Yes, they have. Thank you, Jeff. And I agree. Gail Schultz, is any of this being covered by the news outlets? It needs to be told to those who aren't familiar with SBTV. Yes, I'm working on the press. It's something that has been in the works. Guys, remember, I've been working on this since before I even came up with the idea of doing a protest, right? I've been working on this full time since about September, right? And the first email that I sent to Diane Abbott, a member of parliament who requested a fraud investigation into Scientology, was September 17th, I think it was, right? I've been working on this full time and I've got some really good connections with people. There's a lot of press stuff in the works. It has been in the works for months. This is not something new. And there's a reason we're going about it in the way that we are. This problem is not just East Grinstead Town Council. This is a problem with Mid Sussex District Council. It is a problem with West Sussex County Council. It is a problem with Mims Davies, the Member of Parliament, and many other people and organisations that are involved in this. East Grinstead Town Council are a small cog in a giant machine that needs to be attacked in a certain way in order for the public to be aware of why this is such a problem. The problem is, when I raise awareness of it, East Grinstead Town Council don't hold their hands up and go, "Oh, maybe we should look at this. We're sorry," or "Maybe this is something of concern." No, they double down and make it worse for themselves by trying to censor our questions that were raised at a public meeting on the public record. This is not what I expected. Well, I mean, I kind of did expect it, but they're not helping themselves, right? So they're making it worse themselves. And this is absolutely something that is in the works when it comes to press. And I will tell you more on that when I can. Laura Wildy, thank you so much for your super chat. Is there any procedural bylaw that states what the minutes must contain for uploading to the public? You might be able to call them out on a lack of following procedure. 100%. And the rules state you cannot censor or change or alter anything. So the fact they have is completely outright wrong. Mark the Dorset SP, thank you so much for your continued support, man. Alex is so right. This goes beyond the COS, but censors freedom of speech. We now all need to write to the council and lodge complaints. In numbers, we are strong. Exactly. That's why this is important, because East Grinstead Town Council have now tried to censor free speech, which is a problem. Irrespective of their relationship with the Church of Scientology, this is something that they've done wrong, that they've done themselves, and needs to be reported. So please do write to the monitoring officer, Kevin Toogood, at Mid Sussex District Council and lodge your complaint if you feel this is important and freedom of speech has been stifled here. Now, one thing to consider that Kevin Toogood, when I reported this issue to him via a code of conduct complaint before Christmas, has also given me the silent treatment, has ignored every single one of my emails, and has decided to come up with a decision that this doesn't warrant investigation before he even assessed all of the evidence that I said I wanted to give him. I said, "Hey, I've got some evidence I want to share with you before you come up with your decision." He said, "Great, I will email you next week week and I didn't hear anything. So Kevin Too Good is also not so good. He is obviously in on it, and I believe this is an indication of wider corruption in East Grinstead and Mid Sussex District Council that needs further investigation. So if you feel like this is an issue, please do report it and see what investigations we can get together. Please, can you also sign the petition? Change.org/Scientology is the place to go. There's over 1,000 people there who have signed this petition to show how this is an important issue that local government support needs to end when it comes to Scientology. Guys, this is just a short one. I needed to bring this to you. I'm going to keep on the fight. I'm going to keep going, but I need your support. If you can get involved, that would be great. As I just mentioned, I'm also needing to spend more and more time doing this than I ever have, which means I have less time to take on normal paid work. So if you are able to support in any way, please buy me a coffee using the link in the description or PayPal. You can do a membership on both Buy Me a Coffee and on PayPal, where you can donate, $5 a month or whatever it is. Every little helps, because that means I have more time available to me to take on this fight. That is something that I really want to do, but I can't do it without your support. So I would really appreciate it if you could support me in that way. I also want to continue this fight online, so please do keep your eyes on Scientologybusiness.com. And the best way of supporting this cause, if you do not have the means to do so financially, is to like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that sort of stuff, because the more people that hear about this, that see these messages, the better. And that means this message reaches more people. So thank you so much for tuning in. And I cannot be any clearer to East Grinstead Town Council. I am on war footing, and I am not fucking about.
Hip, hip, cheerio! Scientology's got to go! Hip, hip, cheerio! Scientology's got to go! The abuse has to stop! The abuse has to
There
stop!
is human trafficking occurring at St. Hill at this very moment, and it will continue until government agencies step in to stop it.